Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kristifor, and today I wanted to show you how you can add a cookies bar in WordPress that will look something like this. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is to log into your site. Once you're in the dashboard, you will head over to the plugins and you will click on a new plugin. So in the search bar, you will type cookie GDPR and click enter. You'll see many different plugins, but the one that I'm gonna use is a GDPR cookie compliance remove agency. Just install and activate it. Once it's activated, in the sidebar you will see a new tab, GDPR cookie compliance. You will click on this, and here you can customize the whole cookies bar. So for example, you can choose your brand color and maybe green like this. Then you can choose your own logo here. Then you can play around with the button style. You can change the buttons to rounded or squared. Then you can choose a font. You can have the default font. You can choose the one that you use in your main WordPress theme, or you can specify a custom font if you like. I usually go with the main font that I have in my own WordPress theme, and I click Save Changes here. The next thing that I do is go to the cookie banner settings. Here you can customize the whole content in the cookies bar. For example, you can change the main text when cookies bar appear. Let me open my page and show you on what exactly I mean. This text here is usually the text that you have here. You can customize it to something different maybe, but I usually keep it by the default. Then below you can select which buttons you want to show in the cookies bar. For example, you can have the accept button. You can also rename them as well. I also want to show a reject button, and I also like to show the settings button as well. So I activate most of them. I usually don't show the close button because even if you accept or reject the cookies, it's automatically closing the pop-up bar. So the next thing that I also do is play around with the cookie banner position. There are plenty of settings that you can choose from. You can have it at the top, bottom, bottom left, or bottom right. I usually go with the bottom left or bottom right because the pop-up is looking much better. It's making them a bit bigger and more visible. I usually go with the bottom right, and I usually play around with the color mode. Like for example, you have a light mode and dark mode. I go with the light mode. I don't change here anything. Accessibility, I don't change it. I keep it as the default. And also you can play around with how many milliseconds you want to wait before the banner appear. I usually keep it like 2000 like this, but you can change it even if you like to 1000 and click Save Changes. So now if you go to the front page and click Reload, you should be able to see the banner like this. You have Accept button, Reject button, and Settings. And if you click on Settings, you will see more details about each specific tab. So let me get back to the cookies and customize these tabs. Now if you go to the cookie settings screen here, you can play around with the layout. For example, if I go to the front end and if I click on the settings, now you can see my tabs are looking something like this. You have the tabs here and you have the content here. But if you like to have a different layout, you can also have one page layout, which is the one that I use on the other side. And let me save the changes. Now if I go to the front end and if I click reload, and if I click settings now, you'll see all the cookies are appearing here, and you can just disable and enable them directly here without needing to click on each tab and then to show all the info about that specific cookie and to enable it and disable it. So let me get back. I will keep the one page layout like this. Then I also keep the enable all button. You can disable or enable this if you like. You can have a reject all button. I will enable this as well. Then I have save settings and close button, and I keep everything by the default here, and then just click Save Changes. But you can also customize it based on your own needs and then just save changes. Then you have a floating button here. You don't need this, but you can activate it as well. This is something different. For example, if someone accepts the cookies bar, it's gonna disappear, and maybe it won't be able to show maybe for a specific amount of days, and they usually can't change the settings that they want. But if you enable this button, if I enable it and save changes, now if I go to the front end and click reload, I need to accept it, something like this. And you can see the button is here. You can change the cookie setting always. You can click on it and you can change it. Maybe you don't like to show the necessary cookies, you can just disable them and click save changes. It's working something like that. You can also disable this if you don't want the people to change the cookies once they agree to them. It depends what works more for you. The next step that I'm going to show you is the integration. This is something new that is coming with the plugin. Here you can play around with the Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, Google Ads and Metapixel. For example, if you activate Google Analytics, you can include your tracking ID here, and you can select, for example, which of these cookies, if you enable them, to track the users. And if it's disabled, the Google Analytics will be disabled for the specific users. Same with the Google Tags, Metapixels, and things like that. For example, if you try to track some events, maybe someone will want you to track them when they visit the site, they can reject a specific cookie, and then Google Tag would be disabled. Same for the Google Analytics. But I usually activate Google Analytics only here, and I click save changes. But I'm not gonna do that now. The other thing that you can play around with is with the general settings. You can just play around with the consent here. For example, how long you need before the cookies expire. It's usually set by 1 year, but you can change it if you like, maybe for a specific amount of days, like maybe 30 days, 60 days. I usually keep this by the default by 365 days, which is 1 year, but you can play around and change it if you like. So now the other thing that you can play around is with the cookies. You have privacy overview. This is the main cookie that is coming, the primary one. You can change the title, you can change some of the content here, and then you have another 3 options or 4 options. For example, strictly necessary cookies. Maybe if you like, you can keep this as it is, and then you can add some description, or if you like, you can change it maybe like Google Analytics tracking, and you can add some content here and just click save changes. Now if you go to the front page, reload it, go to the cookies below, now you will see a Google Analytics tracking, and now it's enabled. I disable this, maybe I don't want the site to track me while I'm visiting it. So it's same with the other cookies. You have third-party cookies, you can change this as you wish. You can also play around with the status. By the default, you can keep them enabled. You can also have some scripts in the head, body section, or in the footer. It depends if you want to have some custom scripts included here when this cookie is activated, to activate these specific scripts. And then you have some additional cookies which you can also customize it. Maybe if you like to have something specific, and you have a cookie policy. You can turn this on as well and play around with the content here. So I usually keep everything by the default. I'm including some custom cookies for specific lines as well. For example, let me open this website that I built for Hannah. Included some cookies for her. If you go to the settings, you can see I have the strictly necessary cookies. I have analytics and performance cookies and advertisement. I keep all of these cookies. Keep in mind that the structure that you see here have some custom CSS included. I will include the CSS code below. You can copy it and include it to your site as well if you like to have this structure. But usually with a one-page layout, you will have this kind of structure with the main plugin. But all in all, you can see that the plugin lets you to customize it as much as possible. Plus, you can always add some new cookies or disable the ones that you don't need without paying a monthly subscription, because I've noticed that you have a lot of plugins which do the most of the job dynamically, and you don't need to have everything to do it by yourself. The thing is that they require a subscription on a monthly or yearly basis. And with this plugin, if you're starting out, it's nice and you don't have to spend some money paying some subscriptions. I hope this video helped you out, guys. If you want to see some more videos like this, as always, Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification to get updated every time when I upload a new videos. Until then, see you in the next video.